Hey, what's up guys? A little bit of a different video for today. It's going to be me talking about something that is absolutely driving me crazy. As you can probably see from the title here, this is a very unique situation where fishing meets football, it meets Chicago. And that's the premise of today's video here. The Chicago Bears just released their grand plan for a new Chicago football stadium for the Bears along the lakefront. And when this came out, it now has so many people talking about it, including myself, because there is a major design flaw and problem that is going to impact hundreds and hundreds of anglers and boaters that are already struggling to gain access to Lake Michigan with the few amount of public access points, boat launches in the Illinois section, or Chicago, let's say more specifically, section of Lake Michigan. Right now, you have Diversey, which is a public launch. You have 95th Street, Cal Park as another public launch. And then you have like Burnham, which is, it's kind of quasi, it's not technically not allowed to launch there, but outside of the boating season, they don't really care because there's no other traffic. So they'll let you do what you do. And a lot of anglers take advantage of this. There's a lot of great fishing in Chicago. Hell, the last few videos on my channel, coho fishing and Yaker fishing, has been back here in Chicago, where I cut my teeth, salmon and trout fishing, smallmouth fishing growing up here. From every harbor, I fished every harbor in the Chicago portion of Lake Michigan, from Waukegan all the way down to Cal Park. Every harbor I've stopped in, fished for smallies or perch or trout and salmon throughout the seasons and all that. Growing up, I'm very familiar with it. And over the years, I've seen the lakefront change to a point where it's become increasingly harder, not only for access for boaters, but even for shore anglers. It's gotten to be much more difficult for parking to get there. They close the park at 11 p.m. If you're trying to get there early enough, technically you're not supposed to be there. Sometimes it depends on the officers that are patrolling. They're going to kick you out or not if you get there like at 4 or 5 in the morning to fish before the park actually opens up, because that's when the good bite's happening for, perch or salmon or whatever the case may be. It has gotten increasingly more difficult to access the Chicago section of Lake Michigan to fish. And with this new reveal of their stadium plan here, it is going to further make things more inaccessible for boaters to get out in the water in Chicago. Let's take a look here and I'll explain more. So this is the proposed stadium. They're going to move it south of the current stadium here towards like the back end of Burnham Harbor, if you will, just before you get to McCormick Place. So let's continue to take a look at what they're doing here. The old stadium is going to become like this open aired park. They're trying to sell everyone on this area of like, we're going to enhance this area, make it more beneficial for the public use, family outings, revitalize the lakefront, as if we need it more revitalized. It's already pretty well revitalized. They're doing their pitch here to make it a community-driven benefit here, and whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not going to bore you with going through the entire video here. You kind of see what they're doing here with all of this. But let's stop here and take it back and kind of break down where the problem lies. This is Burnham Harbor. This is the boat launch at Burnham Harbor right over here. Hopefully you guys can see it. What is the point of having a boat launch when in their renderings of what this new area would look like with the stadium, they completely got rid of the boat launch trailer parking that is right here? See where the cursor is? This whole area with this tree, they put trees here now. It's become single car parking. They completely wiped it from their plans. This means that for anglers, boaters, jet skiers, anybody who wants to access the marina or Lake Michigan at Burnham Harbor are SOL. You no longer have access to launch here. What's the point of even having a boat launch here if no one can park their trailer anywhere? Where are you going to go to park your trailer? Building a stadium at the expense of other people's access to the lakefront is something that I fundamentally believe should not be happening here. They should have taken into account of the area they're trying to move their stadium to and think about, hey, this is an access point for boaters. We should probably either move something around, give them a new lot, or not touch the existing lot for them so that we don't disturb what they have going on here. Now, if you think that this is just me making a gripe about the boating access and the parking situation for boaters, you're wrong, because I'm not the only person that is raising an issue with the new proposed stadium plan here for the Chicago Bears in Chicago on the lakefront here, right along Burnham Harbor. so many other people have gone out here and have said this: where are we going to park? This has been a common response in many of the videos that the Chicago Bears and other sports related media have posted up about the new rendering about the stadium have echoed. Where are we going to park? Not only where are we going to park, but what happened to tailgating? No longer can you tailgate. This looks like it's going to be a horrendous mess of a plan here, because again, for those that are native Chicagoans that have gone downtown this area, you know how bad it is to get down there on game day. Hell, it's bad to get down there on a Tuesday afternoon during rush hour. It's just bad. Traffic flow is terrible. It's congested, extremely hard to get parking here. Now you're talking about, where do people park? You're gonna have to go down to McCormick Place and then walk all the way over there. What are you gonna do? Tailgate at McCormick Place? Not even in the stadium parking lot. So even from a sports perspective, it doesn't even make sense here on what they're trying to do and the problems with it. They're trying to get us to gloss over all of that and just show us the pretty rendering and, oh, it looks beautiful. Yeah, it does. It would, in a perfect world, if they had parking, if they didn't touch the marina there for trailer parking, okay, fine. You know, generally when I go fish there, most people fish there, it's not during the football games. But we're continually seeing that access to the lakefront here increasingly get more difficult, and at the expense of shore anglers, boaters, boaters as well, because of the fact that everything else generates more money. And so we're going to take a big fat dump on everyone else because, yeah, sure, I'm sure the amount of money they make from boaters trailering and parking there, it's a $28 launch. Isn't nowhere near what they're going to make in revenue from some of this other stuff. Yeah, but we shouldn't be in a place where we're losing our already limited access to the waterfront here. This is so concerning to me as someone who loves to fish Chicago. It's beautiful, it's scenic. There's great fishing in Chicago that many people don't even take advantage of. And maybe this video ends up encouraging some of you to give it a go. But for a lot of people, they don't want to deal with the traffic flow into downtown. This is going to make it worse. There's going to be no parking here. I think you guys can tell how upset I am at even seeing this be a thing. Now, there's still a lot that go. Now, there's still a long way to go with this for this to even be a thing. I mean, they have to try to secure a couple $1 billion of taxpayer money, which I hope they don't get. Just go to Arlington Heights. Can we just, I know this is a fishing channel, I'm veering off into sports right here, but just go to goddamn Arlington Heights. You got more room over there. Take the traffic out of Chicago. I know Chicago doesn't want that because they want the tax revenue from all the money that's coming in here, but you know what? Just go out there. There's no more point of trying to be in a limited space area of downtown along this strip of waterfront. It's just terrible for the traffic, the flow. And it's going to impede the access for so many other people here. I just absolutely hate to see this. I hate this idea of what they're trying to do here, with no thought of who it's going to impact. The little guys. And the one sliver of hope that we have here, y'all, that I will link to down below, is the work that the Friends of Chicago, or is it Parks of Chicago? There's a group. I'm sorry, I don't know their full title. I think it's Friends of Chicago or Park, whatever. They work to preserve the natural aspects of downtown Chicago, the parks, and so on and so forth. I think it's Friends of the Park. They are going to be a big hurdle for the Bears and the city to overcome, as they're going to probably push back against this, and the implications of what this will mean for a lakefront, altering this space and all that stuff. They might be the only hope that we as anglers who don't want to see this happen here, we as anglers that want to access, Burnham Harbor, get out to the lakefront, will no longer have a spot to park our trailer at anymore. That might be our silver lining to, stay informed of what they got going on, be involved in the public kind of portion of this whole process as far as feedback and explaining that, hey, okay, it's not that I have a problem with you building the stadium here, but you need to not touch the area that we already had here so that we can continue to use the space, together. That's really what it comes down to here. But if that doesn't happen, and again, we're talking about Chicago politics and people, you know, wanting tax money and all this stuff here, it's very likely that we anglers get shit on in this whole ordeal, which is, to me, the thought of it just makes me sick to my stomach, because to lose access to that portion, you know, Navy Pier, downtown Chicago, fishing and all that stuff, man, what a blow it would be to, you know, my ability to go out there and fish my home waters, create content in that area. I would just be kind of devastated there. And I wanted to share this with you guys to just raise awareness of this, see what you guys think about this. You know, honestly, I gave up on the Bears a long time ago, so I'm probably biased in that way, that I could give a shit where they go. Honestly, I know for the diehard fans, they probably want to have this still remain here. And for those that don't live in Chicago, that travel from the suburbs, they're, you know, I've seen a lot of their comments too. They're all for it. But like, dude, you don't even live here and have to suffer through what we all have to do to commute through this area. So I kind of feel like your opinion is kind of null and void. You know what I mean? Just send them to Arlington, give them all the space. They can do everything they want there. It's really good accessibility via the highways that lead over there, and leave it be. You know what I'm saying? Like, downtown Chicago is already a rat race and problematic to get through. Like, there's just so much about this that is terrible. With their parking plans, they did say that they're going to expand parking, the underground parking, further, and they're going to change the traffic flow to make it better over there. There's no making it better over there. There's absolutely not. This is all smoke and mirrors to sell everyone on this idea of getting this approved to move the Bears or build their new stadium over here, which we can all agree. I can agree as well. They need a new stadium, just not in downtown Chicago. Please get the entire hell out of the city with this. I don't want to see it here. So thank you for listening to my rant here about how the Bear Stadium is going to potentially impact the fishing out of Chicago. Let me know what you guys think down below. Share this around. Please share it to some of these Facebook groups, Chicago fishing Facebook groups, so people are aware of what they are trying to do here and the impact that this is going to have. I mean, again, look at this, right? The trailer parking lot that was here now turned into single car parking spaces, so they can generate more revenue and, you know, provide some level of parking to people at the expense of boaters and kayakers and everyone else that would access the Burnham Harbor launch. Just complete trash. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.